Well, let's talk a bit about the Juggalos, because they are one of the most loyal fan bases I've ever seen, most enthusiastic fan bases I've ever seen. What exactly is a Juggalo? Because the FBI had different ideas about what a Juggalo is.
When we started out, we did not put the label Juggalos on nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just did what the we did. And then all of a sudden, people started calling themselves Juggalos. You know, and now, I mean, fast forward to, 2011, all of a sudden, Juggalos are such a big phenomenon that the police, the FBI, all them, they had no choice. They were like, oh my God, this is like some we can't control. So they put the label gang on them.
People always automatically fear what they don't understand. And then if all those people are having fun by the thousands, we have to stamp something negative on it. Negative.
Right. Now picture like you know what I'm saying, like Middletown, America, Grass Lake, Iowa, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Any little town in America. You know, you got like these 15-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids who like go to Hot Topics and buy ICP shirts. They're hanging out at the mall. You know what I'm saying? They're a gang now, like MS-13 and like Bloods and Crips and like the Aryan Nation and like Black Panthers and whatever gang existed.
If you're in a rural area and you're a police officer and you can make the argument that there's an active gang in your neighborhood,
you get free billy clubs.
You get some sort of government funding to combat that gang, you know?
You get free tasers, maybe a police car, like an SUV in your police department.
So
you know?
There's a book written about it, and the way it boils down to, according to the book, is it just boils down to that if
not
you're
by us.
So by claiming Juggalos are a gang, at least putting your vote to saying Juggalos are a gang, you know, it creates a lot of funding for a lot of small town police officers that don't normally get funding for that type of thing, and they get you know new cushions on their cruisers. Right. For their butts.
You tried to sue?
Of course we did.
What came of that?
Absolutely nothing.
I'm sorry.
What came with it was a peace of mind for us.
Okay.
And a peace of mind for Juggalos that we stood up and said we're not a gang.
Yeah, if we don't do nothing about it, if we don't at least, you know, by marching, because we marched on Washington, you know, and it was
the big national mall, all that
extreme
shit.
success.
How many people?
Well, check this out. Like the whole thing was, we tried to get in every venue within like an hour of Washington D.C. to put on a free concert. You know what I'm saying? Well, number one, nobody showed up for the free concert. You know what I'm saying? As far as bands go, you know what I'm saying? So like we were like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Somehow we played at the National Mall in front of that big ass pool that like Martin Luther King did. I had a dream speech. Forrest Gump, you know what I'm saying? All that somehow we had a stage set up. We did a concert right there. Only 3 other acts did that. I know Bob Dylan was one. I forget the other 2. You know what I'm saying?
So you're in an elite group.
That's right. God damn it, we always are. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be because we make it that way. You know?
For us, and that's our way of fighting back. Because if we don't do anything about it, the FBI officially labeling Juggalos a gang. If we don't do anything about it, we might as well be what they say we are, right? I mean, if we're just gonna let them roll right over us and make some kind of insane accusation like that all Juggalos are a gang, which is insane, preposterous. It's like saying, you know, what if I just declared Deadheads are a gang? You know what I mean?
Believers or like Little Lambs, whatever the you know what I'm saying?
It's just insane.
Little Monsters, whatever Lady Gaga.
But you know by marching, we got to fight back. We got to say, hey, we're not okay with what you're saying.
We lost in court, but the way I look at it, we won in life, you know?
The Detroit News said that they feel the Insane Clown Posse has finally gotten respect after all of these years. Do you feel that's true?
It feels like it, you know. Our whole career, we've been around a long time, almost 30 years. But we've always been kind of known as the world's most hated band, you know. You know, our whole career in battling all that, we've always dreaded being old school, you know. Don't want to be labeled old school, you know. And once we got to the point where we're undeniably old school, it seems to be by far the most rewarding part of our career, honestly.
Big time.
It's like all of a sudden
you're an elder. You know what I'm saying? It's like
we're not as it don't feel like, you know, like
we just earlier today we got called hip hop legends.
Yeah, that word gets thrown around a lot. Legends, you know, it's like, dang, man.
Know? It was like, wow. Like we our whole career had even like trouble being accepted as hip hop. Now we're being considered hip hop legends. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think rock and roll wanted to claim us. Oh, they don't even have a band. Those guys ain't rock. That's not rock, you know. And rap didn't want to claim us because we got clown paint on. What the hell is that? That's
Too
not real
theatric.
hip hop. That's not rap. You know, we didn't really have a home to belong to, and they're a novelty act. They're not real. They're not real musicians. Oh, they sell records. They're great businessmen. You know, that's all they are, smart businessmen, because they definitely suck. You know, or somebody review our concert. You know, the only people having a good time there are the Juggalos. Anybody else with any sense could see how terrible they are. It's like
Juggalos ain't people.
Yeah, like they don't count. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sorry to laugh. It's not.
I know.
You know.
So, are you surprised at all that you've been around this long, and despite all these obstacles and some of the crap you've gotten, I mean, you have sold a lot of records. You've done, 20th year of the Gathering coming up. Like, in most people's eyes, you would be considered a massive success. A platinum success. Are you surprised by your longevity and your success?
No.
We're gonna be here much, much longer, and
That's
I
what we're
don't mean
meant to
that
do.
in a hopeful way. I can guarantee you.
We're gonna be here until, like, seriously, like, we can't walk and we're dead. Then we'll have
For
our
real,
holograms
though,
take
for real.
place.
Like we'll always. There's no
We're
shortage
here.
of.
That's it.
Well, let's talk about the new record specifically.
Every album we do this a Joker's card is a special album, and Fearless Fed Fury is the name of this Joker's card, and what it asks you to look at is the pollution you carry within yourself. And what I mean by that, regret. You know what I'm saying? How much regret is in you? You know, if you regret the way you live your life every day, and you don't do anything about it, you regret your career, you hate your job, but yet you do it every day, and you just withstand that staleness every day. You don't do nothing about it, but complain to everybody that'll listen and keep doing it. You don't fight back to make your situation better. When you die, your Fearless Fed Fury is gonna be huge, and it's gonna kick your ass because you never did nothing about it to make yourself happy, you know?
Whatever the you gotta do.
Whatever's
man.
holding you back, fight back.
Word up. You
know?
you done sitting back, man. You move forward in your life and be happy. You know
Don't
what I'm saying?
live with regret.
If you can't do that, then
Don't sit there
That's
and
your
live
theory,
uncomfortably
you know?
your whole life, and then when you die, be like, damn, my life sucked. Or don't be one of these guys that's like, my life sucks. Life sucks.
Right.
No, you suck.
Right.
Life is actually pretty fresh, you know what I'm saying?
right. You got one
Do
of them,
something
and
about
you
it,
sitting there
man.
complaining about that. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Get out there and,
So people think you're so negative, but everything you just said sounds very positive.
Our music is nothing but positive. It's laced up with curse words and, like, craziness around it, but everything we say is very positive.
It is. It's just, in a language that scares most people away. But that language is straight, man. Most people are on the street like us. And that's the language we talk in, you know what I'm saying? And when it's really colorful, it might sound like what we're saying is negative, but it's actually very positive.
A lot of people hear all this, you know what I'm saying? But if you really
Especially
sit there and
when
listen to it,
when you say
it's real
So this year is the 20th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, of the
Sure
Gathering of the Juggalos. What
Look
do
at
you
you on
have
your stuff.
planned?
20 years, man. Well, I'll tell you what we have planned. It's like making love to the finest woman on the planet for 20 years. And this is the year we finally bust our nut. Excuse my graphic language, but that's a lot what it's like, you know what I'm saying? We're up in that. 20 years. And finally it's like, oh, your legs start shaking. No, we're calling it the super gathering. It really is a super gathering. It's like the gathering we've mastered the art of throwing a gathering, you know. Yes, we don't make money. Yes, we lose hundreds of thousands. We take every dime we got, all right, and we apply it to make the dopest gathering possible. Like, honestly, if we got an extra $4,000 somewhere, we spend it. You know what I mean? To make it that much awesomer.
We try to make every single person that comes there the best experience of their life. And we don't give a what we got to put behind it.
That's the payoff.
What kind of money we got to put behind it.
That's
as
what
long
we
as
get.
That one individual that came walks away like, oh my God, that was the best place I've been in my life. That's what we care about.
But
Not the money.
another thing, it's not just what we're presenting that is the magic of the gathering. Of course, any juggalo that's actually been there will tell you what we're presenting is cool, okay? But the magic is the camaraderie between juggalos. That's the real magic to an ICP show. Sure, ICP's pretty good on stage, but you take away all the juggalos, you're gonna see two idiots dancing around on stage, throwing Fago at each other. Fago was the soda of choice in Detroit. But I use the word camaraderie. That's why juggalos chant family, because there's no other word to explain what they're feeling at that moment, you know. 2,000 at a regular concert, 2,000 people technically are strangers to each other, but yet they feel this vibe that's, you know, they know we laugh at the same jokes. They know we find the same things touching. We find the same things piss us off, you know, and when they come together, they feel this like no longer alone, you know what I mean? They might live their whole lives alone till they get to those Juggalo moments where they realize, man, there actually is thousands of people like me.
And the fact is, it's like the second you get there, it's like if you're hungry, gonna give you money for food. If you're thirsty, somebody's gonna give you water to drink, you know? If you can't get nowhere to sleep, tents open to people, you know? And that's the greatest part about
really
it, you know?
people offering you
and
that
that's
stuff.
100% real stuff right there, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing about that besides the truth.
Our
There you
favorite
go.
thing is when reporters, I like to read them after every gathering. Reporters get the assignment to do a story from the gathering, and they write about it all the time. Every year there's more stories that come out, and they say, man, my colleagues told me I'm going to get my ass kicked at the gathering. They told me if you're not one of them, they're going to kick
They're
your
scared
ass.
to
It's
go.
going to be awful. And then they go there, and they get their wigs flipped off their head because everybody's so welcoming. Everybody's so kind to them, and they heard it was the opposite. They heard if you're somebody new, they're going to you up. It's nothing like that.
And you ain't gotta be like full-time balls in juggalo wearing painting every day, you know what I'm saying? There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's judges, there's cops. There's everybody you could think of that are juggalos, you know what I'm
I've
saying?
never met a juggalo judge.
Okay, I'll take that one back. But, you know what I'm saying? Everything else, though, you know what I'm saying? There's everything you could think of, all walks of life, you know what I'm saying? Down from street bums up to the most
Senators.
prestigious, like, people
Senators?
that you ever seen in your life, you know what I'm saying?